Thank you, Vin, and Joe Mihalich. Good to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Nowhere to go but up this year, right? You've got things heading in the right direction, I imagine.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. We have a good bunch of guys. As we were talking off the air, young. We could have 5 freshmen on the floor at the same time this year, which is exciting and scary at the same time. But, I think they're getting better every day, and if we can continue to do that, get better every day, by the end of the year, we could be a good team.
All right, and before we get into your team, have you seen the exhibit yet?
Oh, this is terrific.
So you saw you're a wizard, by the way. Did you see that? Coaching wizard?
It's the one part I didn't understand. I didn't get that part, but the rest of it I understood.
But how great is it, though, to have your team up here, your pictures in the Hall of Fame? I mean, you're a coach.
Yeah.
You were a high school coach. You're a coach. You've got 2 sons who are coaches. What's it mean when all of a sudden you see yourself in the Basketball Hall of Fame?
I would kiddingly say it's like perfume on a pig, but just to be in there is just all of us, the whole conference, and to recognize some people is it's. I don't want to sound negative, but it's way better than I thought it would be. It's terrific, and you had some good ideas off the air too that we could do here. So, but really, we could recognize some former players that played at our schools that didn't actually play in the league, but they're still our schools. Calvin Murphy, Jeff Rowland, Rick Smits. Those guys. It would be good. And that's your idea. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm just taking
Put
the
me
hit.
on the spot on the air. I get arrows coming out. But you do have 2 Niagara alums who are in the Hall of Fame, and there's not a lot of schools across the country. I don't care if it's in BCS conferences or elsewhere that have 2 inductees.
That's the truth. UB Brown and Calvin Murphy in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So, we're really proud of that.
And Joe, you're one of the links to the beginnings of the MAAC over 3 decades ago, and as soon as you walk into the exhibit here at the Hall of Fame, the first thing that catches my eye is the LaSalle jersey number 22 for Lionel Simmons, and they've done a nice job of capturing the time when you were an assistant under Speedy Morris there.
A terrific player and the consummate student athlete, and did a great job on and off the floor. 3rd all-time leading scorer in the history of the game, college basketball player of the year in 1990, and he's a MAAC player. So.
Yeah, and now let's talk about your team. You talk about the fact you're going to be so young. One of the guys a lot of people talking about, Wanye Green, and a talented guy from, again, out of Philadelphia, going back to your roots that have been real good for you in recruiting. Talk about him a little bit as a player.
He's one of those guys where, as a coach, you don't want to lay too many superlatives on a guy. You just want to let the freshman, grow. He's going to have some games where he's going to, where he'll struggle, I guess. But he's very, very talented. He picks things up. He's a natural. He's a natural. He passes. He scores. He defends. He knows how to play. And the instincts, the basketball IQ, the things you can't really teach. I mean, he's got them all, and he's fun to play with. So. Again, you don't want to build him up too much because it's not fair to him. It's like the movie you keep hearing about. You haven't seen it yet. It's never as good as you think. But Wanye is a good player.
Well, Antoine Mason was a guy last year, came in as a freshman, and we heard about him, but unfortunately got hurt 3 games into the year, and we didn't see him the rest of the way. How is his health, and where do you expect him to fit in terms of a role for you guys this year?
Yeah, he's healthy. He's playing well. He's one of those guys that. If you watch him work out 1-on-0, you see some flaws. I mean, fundamentally not perfect, that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, when the lights go on and there's a shot to be made, he's a guy that wants to take it and he makes it. So he scores points. Tough kid.
And Josh Turner, another one of those newcomers. Now, he won't be eligible until December, but you've done that before, and you've been able to incorporate in some transfers. You think about Bilal Ben and other guys, Rob Garrison, guys that have come on in, and you've been able to meld them in. How is that going, and how big of an impact is he going to be when he becomes eligible in December?
Well, again, you don't want to put pressure on people, but he might be our 2nd most talented guy after Wanye Green. I mean, he can score points. He's smooth. He's not like your high-flying highlight tape guy, but he has a way of putting the ball in the basket and making plays, and we're anxious to get him on the floor.
I have a feeling the Gallagher Center is going to be no place that other people are going to want to visit this year again, so looking forward to it.
We're trying to get our away games at the Gallagher Center, too. If we could figure out a way to do that, that'd be a great thing. So.
Another good idea, right?
All right, back over to Vin and Julianne.